I never fell into this game the way that other people did. And to be honest, I've only ever seen most of this game's content through videos. I always loved seeing the grinds and seeing the drops, but I never dived in headfirst myself. That being said, if you were to ask me my favourite game, it's this. There's nothing more comfy, more charming, more likely to bring a smile to my face than this. And at the start of this year, I needed that. This place wrapped me up, it held me and let me stop for a minute. And a minute more. And things are better now, they're better than they've ever been. But I love the memories that I've made along the way. And I'm keen to make more. Needless to say, I have a lot to catch you guys up on. So hello, welcome. My name is Miles and this is my ultimate Ironman. It's not exactly a new account. I'm sitting at 1368 total and 96 combat, and I've got a few things to catch you guys up on. I'm currently sitting at base 75s for my melee stats, with strength being my highest at 84, and otherwise my range, prayer and mage aren't doing too bad either. This is the furthest I've ever made it into a RuneScape account, and right now, I feel like I've only dipped my toe in the water. I'm really excited to start working towards some content I've never done before, like God Wars, but we can get more into that later. I'm going to be starting off this episode by just getting into the Barrows Grind. Barrows will be my best tank armor for the foreseeable future, and this will set me up really good for the things I want to approach, like Slayer and bossing. And as you can see, I've already got a Verax helm, Darok plate body, and I've got a Carol's top in the looting bag, which are all really good items so far. As far as my main goals go, I'm really looking to get a full set, and preferably this would either be full Guthans or full Daroks. Both of these have really good utility moving into the mid and late game on an Ultimate Ironman, and the benefit of having a full set of one of the Barrows armors is that I can store that in the master stash in the basement of the crypt. Alright, let's go. Hey, well, we're off to a good start, let's go. Back to back. So I did a few chests while I wasn't recording, and on chest 90 I got my second Guthans piece, the Guthans helm. 95. Chest 96. Oh my god. That's not real, that's hilarious. Oh my god, hell yeah. I think it goes without saying, but doing a whole lot better on this goal than I was expecting to this early on, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm still really keen on getting a tank pair of legs to replace these rune ones, but otherwise we've already got 4 of the items that we were looking for, so hopefully we get them soon, but I know how this can go, so I'm not going to hold my breath. So I got this Aram's hood while I wasn't recording. I'm just going to outcut because the Aram's top and bottom are the only things that have real use to me on this account. It's just not worth the space. Can we get the back-to-back from the Darok's axe? No. Chest 100. nothing. So I'm just taking a quick break from Barrows to do some questing. As you can see, my inventory's in a bit of a state right now, and I've got a few god pages in my looting bag, so finishing Horror from the Deep's really going to open up quite a few spaces, just being able to finally put those into the god books. Oh, is that it? Hey, there we go. And that's Horror from the Deep complete. We get some good XP rewards. I think we may even get a ranging level off this. Yeah, there we go, 66 range. But mainly is just going to be able to get rid of these god pages finally. They've been sitting there for way too long. Alright, so I'm just going to collect some super anti-poisons. I'm heading over to the Yanil agility dungeon. And essentially what I need to do is restock on toadstools. I think you may have seen in the bottom right of my inventory I have a stack of toadstools and then a loose leaf, as you will. One of the main goals I'm aiming for in the near future is getting this. This is a revitalization pool. It goes in your house and it refills your run energy. It's really useful for a bunch of skilling things. The problem is to get this, I need 10 of these. These are 4-dose stamina potions, and they have a really steep herb lore requirement of 77 herb lore, and needless to say, I don't think I'm going to be there anytime soon. But there does exist one other way to get a stamina potion, and that's through this guy, the Dr. Jekyll random event. When Dr. Jekyll shows up, he'll ask for a herb, and he'll ask for whatever herb you have in your inventory. Depending on what herb you give him, he'll give you a potion, and toadstools, that'll give us a stamina pot. So the question remains, how do we get toadstools? Toadstools host an even steeper farming requirement, so that's out of the picture, and bosses like Zulrah or raids are really far out of my reach still on this account. However, that brings me to this guy, Salarin the Twisted, hidden at the back of the Yanil agility dungeon. He drops a Sinister Key at a rate of 1 in 12, and a Sinister Key can be used to open a Sinister Chest to give us toadstools. We get 1 toadstool per key, so I need to get 10 keys, 10 toadstools, 10 stamina pots. But wait, that only gives us a grimy toadstool. Dr. Jekyll only takes clean herbs, and cleaning a toadstool requires 75 herb lore, so we're back at step 1. Not exactly. This is where Zahur comes in. She resides down in Nada in the desert, and if you bring her a grimy herb and some coins, she'll clean it for you. So, that's how we're gonna get our clean toadstools. Let's get to it. No, this guy's basically just like a giant chicken, so this isn't exactly going to be a hard grind. Probably going to take me only like half an hour or something. Hey, there we go. That's key number 1. I've actually already made a little bit of a dent in this grind, so I only need 3 more keys for a total of 4 toadstools. Number 2. That's number 3. 1 more to go. Oh, nice. There we go. Alright, so now we just make our way down to the other end of the dungeon through here. It's a pretty janky looking place. I don't think this has really been updated since it was made in 2000 or whatever. But if you go through this tube, there's the Sinister Chest, and the reason for the anti-poison is that it tries to poison you when you open it, but that's not going to be an issue for us. And otherwise, this gives us a bunch of really useful herbs actually. We get some Raynars for prayer pots, and we also get some Irrits and Quorms for super attack and super strength. I can't make super strength potions yet, so I'm just keeping the Quorms inside my looting bag. Alright, let's get down to Nada. I'll just be unnoting these at the bank here, and then as you can see, there's 75 herb lore to clean them, so I really wouldn't have any shot unless it was for Zahur here. But no, I believe it's 200 coins per herb, and now we have a stack of clean toadstools. Now we can just go to any tool leprechaun and note them, and I can just unnote one at a bank every time I need one. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is just making my way over to Jaddix to get some herb lore supplies so I can get rid of these Irrits and Raynars. I'm just going to be making some super attack and some prayer pots. So if you're wondering how I sort of manage all of this, I usually just take the potions to this guy at the GE. He makes them all into 1 doses, notes them for me, and then that way I can just pop them straight into the looting bag and they all stack up nicely, and so I'm not left with like a bunch of 2 doses and a bunch of 4 doses. But no, I've just sort of been chucking them in the looting bag so far, so I'm getting a kind of good collection of them going, but it'll be nice to have them there so that when I actually start needing them, I'm not chasing a bunch of Raynars and Raynar seeds. Oh, shit, okay. No, this is perfect. This is exactly what I was talking about. Thank you very much for the stamina potion, Dr. Jekyll. And so after that, I'm up to 20 doses, which is 5 4-dose stamina pots. Let's go. I'm day by day inching closer to getting this stamina pool. So I'm just heading to the shop to grab a knife, and then I'm going to head over to Draenor to start some fletching training. I don't have a super clear goal with this, but fletching's one of my lowest skills, and at the moment I'm kind of just scared that I'm going to use my Tears of Guthix on it by accident. I thought I may as well just get a few easy levels here to avoid that. And what I'm going to do is basically just make a bunch of arrow shafts, and then that way I can just, while I'm doing other things like agility, I can make headless arrows and it's not too big of a deal. I think it's just as a general goal, I'm going to aim for 52 fletching for broad arrows. Broad arrows aren't the best arrows for training, they're only a bit better than mithril arrows, but it's not going to be too big of an issue, and they're a lot easier to buy in bulk than any of the other arrowheads. And it's also going to be really useful later into this account because broad arrows are one of the fastest fletching training methods. So I got a few clues while I was doing the wood cutting, and one thing that I'm sort of chipping away at in the background is just filling all the stash units. I figure that doing them sort of one at a time every now and then is just going to make it a lot easier when down the road I want to start grinding clue scrolls. Hey, let's go. That is awful. And with this last log, we're going to get enough arrow shafts to make headless arrows to get us to 52. And now I've just got to buy 70k feathers, so I'll be back in a minute. And this should be the exact right amount of feathers. So now I've just got to go do my Tears of Guthix, and then I think I'm going to run some laps while I make these. Alright, so I'm going to make a slight change of plans. I'm going to head over to pest control to do the last little bit. So as long as I help out every now and then, I can just sit here in AFK Fletch and get the pest points. I want to just start chipping away at getting the Void range set. It's one of the best range setups for an Ultimate Ironman, and the fact that you can store it in your house is just really convenient compared to any of the other options. So the whole time I've been doing this fletching training, I've been tossing up between broad arrows and adamant arrows. And so I got to 52 fletching for broad arrows and was like, oh fuck it, I'll do adamant arrows, it'll be better in the long run. So I went ahead and bought 5k adamant arrowheads. Don't have the fletching level to make them yet. It's too late, I'm going to bed. Alright, so my plan to finish off this episode is to just keep going on the Barrows Grind. I believe that this is chest number 115. Nothing. 116. 117. Nothing. Chest 118. 9. Chest 120. Nothing. Alright, this is chest 121. Oh my god, that's sick. Oh, I've never got a double chest before. That's so cool. Fuck. I mean, the Darrix is it's a duplicate, but the Carol's crossbow is really good. It's one of the items I was hoping for. It's such a good range item. Oh, I've never had one before. It's so cool. It's one of my favorite items. This is a bit of a weird position though, because I think I'm going to have to drop my magic shortbow now. I can't justify having two ranged weapons, it just uses up too much space, and the Carol's crossbow is slightly better than the magic shortbow, but it's a lot more expensive to use because it degrades. But oh, it's just so iconic though, I have to use it. It's been one of my favorite items for so long, I gotta keep it. I guess I'll just have to use the MSB to 70 range and then say goodbye. So I messed up the recording and missed a chest, so spoiler alert, we didn't get the back-to-back, but this is chest 123. Hey, Torag's helm. Nice. I'm really surprised it took me this long to get a Torag's piece. This has no use to us. It's slightly tankier than the Verax helm, but it doesn't have a prayer bonus, so I'll probably just alk it. So I've been doing birdhouse runs in the background whenever I can, and in this clip I got 56 hunter, and that put me up to 1400 total. I'm so happy with how failed this account's come, man. I'm so fucking love it. Hell yeah. And then straight up in the next clip I got a spirit seed from a bird's nest, which is pretty rare, and usually when I get seeds like this, I kind of just have to drop them because it's such a high farming requirement, but I'm gonna hold on to this one. So I'm just gonna be alking the two items we got today that we don't need. It feels a bit bad because the Darrix plate is like a mil on the GE, but the 160k I'll get for alking it on this account's worth more to me than a mil on an account that I don't play. So, I think that brings us to the end of the episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. This is the first episode I'm releasing of this series, and I hope that it's a long one. If you guys have any feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments below, I'd really appreciate it, and if you enjoyed the episode and want to see more, please like and subscribe. We made some really good progress this episode. We got a good few levels, we made really good progress on our Barrows goals, and we're also getting closer to that 10 stamina pot goal for the Revitalization Pool. In the next few episodes I want to start working on Slayer. Slayer is going to be the gateway to a bunch of really good gear upgrades for the account, but before I get stuck into Slayer, there's one more grind that I want to do. I want to go to God Wars. This is one of the main pieces of content I've never done before, and I'm excited to start working towards it. The first step of this goal will be to level up my Slayer, to gain access to drops and gear that will significantly upgrade my account. This episode, we will be preparing for the Slayer grind by upgrading our account's inventory capacity. As an ultimate Ironman, because I have no bank to store my items, everything I own must be held in my inventory at all times. And this becomes an issue when fighting monsters because the more gear I have, the less space I have for items like food and potions. Furthermore, anytime I get good loot, like seeds and herbs, I'm left with the decision of whether to pick it up and sacrifice the space, or leave it to despawn, losing potential experience or gold. It is no exaggeration that the most valuable thing to me is the amount of free space in my inventory. Currently, I have 2 items that increase my inventory space. The first and most important of these is my looting bag. The looting bag grants me an extra 28 inventory slots, with the only downside being that I have to die to take items out of it. My second space saving tool is my rune pouch. This pouch allows me to store 3 stacks of runes, which would normally take up 3 inventory slots, in only 1. In this episode, I'll be seeking out 3 tools to increase my inventory capacity: the seed box, the herb sack, and the divine rune pouch. To unlock my seed box and herb sack, I need to make my way down to Tithe Farm. Tithe Farm is a farming minigame in Hersidius where you grow rows of these giant fruit. You have to be quick to plant and water all the seeds to avoid the fruit dying and to maximise your points and experience. For each game, I get about 26 points, and I need 250 for each reward. So all in all, we're looking at about 20 games of Tithe Farm, and unless I get distracted, that should only take me about 7 hours. So I got to work. Starting at 53 farming, I was breezing my way through farming levels, and after my first 10 games, I'd gone all the way up to 63. And then I got distracted and bought a hat. And with my new farming attire, I went back out into the field and finished off 65, which unlocked the middle tier of the farming guild. Unlocking the middle tier of the farming guild is really good for my farming training. It gives me another tree and herb patch as well as the Hespori cave. And so with my new farming guild access, I grew some watermelons for the guildmaster Jane and was given a seed pack as a reward. Holy shit, that's so good, what the fuck? I was not expecting to get that many good seeds. I've never opened one of those before. That's mad. And then I decided to take on the Hespori. Which rewarded me with 3 mahogany seeds, which I'll come back to these later. I've got my first 250 points, so it's about time that I buy this seed box. Alright, let's do it. Hey, there we go. My seeds are taking up so much space at the moment, so just being able to have something like this I can store them in, and then as I get drops from Slayer, I can put them straight in instead of them taking up inventory spots. It's so good. And the other benefit is that I can keep a hop seed in here, just like a big stack of hop seeds, so I don't have to go to Draenor and buy new ones every time I want to do a birdhouse run. This is, oh my god, it's going to be so useful having this. A few weeks ago, Jagex released the Tombs of Amascut, Old School RuneScape's 3rd raid. Being the newest piece of high-level PVM content, this raid holds some of the most coveted and valuable drops in the game. One of the less coveted drops, however, is an item called the Thread of Eladinus. This piece of thread can be used on an ordinary rune pouch to create a divine rune pouch, upgrading the usual 3 rune capacity to 4. Considering I have to have my rune pouch on me at all times, this one seems like a bit of a no-brainer. But getting the thread won't be easy. To get the thread, I need to get it as a drop for completing the Tombs of Amascut raid. And to even start the raid, I'll need to complete the quest Beneath Cursed Sands, which itself has a number of prerequisites as well. So it's safe to say that I've got my work cut out for me. Getting started was pretty easy. I breezed through Prince Ali Rescue in about 15 minutes, and I had already completed Gertrude's Cat a few months ago. Icthlarin's Little Helper wasn't too much harder, except for having to run through this maze like 100 times and this little boss fight at the end. The boss was super easy with protection prayers, but even on the easiest fights I'm sweating because I have all my items on me. Things started to get a bit harder when I made it to Contact. Contact has this large maze with a long boss fight at the end, and my biggest fear is dying at the boss fight. Getting back through this maze without any items or supplies would be difficult to say the least, and I was very anxious at the possibility of losing everything here. To get through the maze, I had to dodge traps, scarab mages, and more traps. And once through, I was up to the boss fight. This scarab is no joke for someone at my level. It can hit up to 20s with range and melee attacks, and on top of that it can also apply poison. The units he spawns can attack with mage, range and melee, which means that even with protection prayers, I will have to tank at least one combat style. With only limited supplies, on my first attempt, I panicked and teleported out. After making my way through the maze again, I made my second attempt. This time I managed to get lucky and trapped one of the scarab's units behind it, where it couldn't hit me for the rest of the fight. I continued to mage the scarab, stopping to deal with the scarab mages as they spawned, and finally, I killed the scarab and came out victorious. To be completely honest, I was surprised at the difficulty of this boss fight, and naively thought at the time that this would probably be the most trouble I would have before starting the raid. I was blissfully unaware of what awaited me. Beneath Cursed Sands was introduced a few months ago before the Tombs of Amascut. It's rated as a master level quest and includes 3 boss fights which get increasingly harder as they go. The first boss is the head Menophyte guard, and luckily, this guy didn't pose too much of a challenge. The next boss was the champion of Scabbaris, and after having a closer look at his stats and reading up on his paragraphs of mechanics, I realised I was going to need to make some upgrades before attempting it. So, I decided to go to Sand Crabs to get 70 ranged. This would allow me to use the Carol's crossbow I got last episode. I then went to Worms to get some red d'hide chaps, and then killed some snakes to make some snakeskin boots. I was definitely feeling a bit more prepared, so with that, I headed in to fight the champion. I was doing an alright job of kiting him around the room, and was getting him close to half health. But when I ran out of run energy, and couldn't escape his AoE attack, this happened. After regrouping and collecting my items, I decided to go get one more range upgrade before making another attempt, the Archer Helm. Another thing I did before this attempt was to death pile to give myself more inventory slots for food. I also went and got some strange fruit from the Hesidious fruit stalls so that I could top up my run energy as I went. This seemed to do the trick, and this run was going perfectly. That was, however, until I ran out of prayer points. It was a close fight, but on my second attempt I came out on top. And now, all that was left before I could start the raid was the Menophyte Arc. This one didn't go particularly well for me.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like.
I kept ramming my head into the wall with this one, just taking attempt after attempt after attempt. I was hoping to have this quest finished before the raid released, so I could play on release night with my friends. But 2 nights after the raid had released, I still hadn't completed the quest. And with my frustration growing and growing, I decided to pull in some moral support before sending one last attempt.
I can't believe they copied Zelda.
Oh.
The shadow guy.
Yeah, Zelda invented shadows. The sun didn't exist until Miyamoto willed it to be.
Oh, this is close. Smackdown. 24, 10. Or one more, surely. Yes.
God,
What is his shadow?
so
Could you imagine if his shadow started attacking you and you died?
Me in the back while I'm not watching. Nice of you to help. This dude is like, every time there's a quest with a boss, he just disappears. Oh my god, that actually has been stressing me out so long because I needed to do this quest to do the raid.
Oh, the one
Finish
tonight?
quest. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
And
that
like,
makes sense.
It's like the last few nights I've been wanting to do the raid, but haven't been able to because I keep fucking not being able to beat this quest.
Rip.
Yeah.
Now that I had completed all prerequisite quests, I was ready to take on the raid. In the Tombs of Amascut, there are 4 paths, each with a challenge room, followed by a boss. You have to beat all 4 paths before descending further into the tombs and fighting the final boss. Our first path was the Path of Scabbaris. In this path, we had to complete a number of small challenges before heading into the final boss, the Scarab, Kefri. On my first attempt, I found Kefri's mechanics pretty simple, and I managed to get through the full fight unscathed.
Fucking, that's a dead bug.
This took us to the second path, the Path of Krondus. This path leads us through a small agility puzzle before fighting Zabak. I felt I was doing alright in this boss fight until I died to its Screech attack. Luckily though, my duo partner had done this many times before and he carried me through the rest of this section. Next we move to the third path, the Path of Upmeakin. This takes us through a survival challenge where we have to fight wave after wave of different monkeys before heading into the final boss, Baba. Despite my poor attempts to dodge her special attacks, I managed to get through Baba without dying and we headed into our final path, the Path of Het. The Path of Het features a light reflection puzzle, which didn't pose too much of a challenge, and we prepared to head into the final boss of this stage, Akka. By this point in the raid, I had chewed through almost all my supplies, and my lack of food almost guaranteed my death. But once again, luckily, my duo partner carried me through. Now that we had beaten all 4 paths, we descended further into the tombs to take on the final boss, the Wardens. After destroying the first warden, we headed into the final phase of the boss fight.
No.
I died again, but we still made it through. And that was my first completion. I was no doubt carried, but we take those. Sadly, because of my poor performance, I got dung as my reward. And I had a closer look after this completion. And it looks like to get a reward, I'll need to get through the whole raid without dying more than twice. But this run showed me that this raid alone may be possible. Very difficult, but possible. If I could improve on the boss mechanics and take less damage, solo runs would be achievable. Right now though, I'm not above being carried, so we headed straight back in. And as we made run after run, I learnt the boss's mechanics better and dodged more and more damage.
Hell yeah.
And eventually, I made it through only dying twice and got my first reward.
2 diamonds, 70 death runes, and a magic seed's alright, but like...
My reward wasn't the best, but I was excited even just to get a chance at the thread. But with that first one down, I felt even more driven to go back in and get it. And a few attempts later, I got another shot. But sadly, I didn't get the thread. And to be honest, this reward was pretty shit as well.
Oh, that is so bad.
But then, on the next attempt, I managed to get all the way to the final boss without dying. And I got it. My hard work paid off, and I got the thread.
I actually got good loot as well. I got 20 rubies and a cache of runes as well. Let's fucking go! Am I gonna be called the leech again by the game? I'm gonna complete a solo and I'll still be called the leech. Alright, what am I getting from this cache of runes? Oh, 1.8k death runes. Oh, that's so good. 350k plus the thread.
Now all that was left was to work my way to 75 crafting, attach it to my rune pouch, and the divine rune pouch was mine. But we decided to run a few more raids before getting off for the night, and I got another reward. But then, on our last attempt, we put the sudden death invocation on, meaning that if we wiped once, we would be kicked out of the raid and would have to start again. And maybe due to our own cockiness, with the thread in my inventory, we wiped at Kefri and were kicked to the lobby.
Oh fuck.
I went to collect my gear from the chest in the lobby, and something was off. Something was missing. The chest contained everything that I had on me, except the thread. As you can see, the thread was on me when I died, and then poof, gone. I doubt this was intended by Jagex. I guess they just assumed that everyone who got the thread would immediately attach it to their rune pouch, but not me. And as quickly as I received the thread, it was ripped away from me. I angrily ranted to my friends, filed a bug report, and even the Reddit post popped off. But I knew this was to no avail. Jagex doesn't return items, even ones deleted by bugs, if this even is a bug. So no matter how many reports I filed, or how many upvotes I got, I knew I had to accept that the thread was gone. It was nice to know you, thread. I'll be back another day. This place is bleeding my supplies and gold, and I've got other grinds to get to. But I'll be back another day. After losing the thread, I took some time to refocus on my goals and set my sights back on the herb sack. I continued farming and made my way all the way to level 76. Along the way, I also got 48 herb lore from a dunce random and got another awful clue scroll reward.
What the fuck?
I also got 60 and then 61 hunter, which passed another milestone, 1450 total, officially surpassing my highest total level on any RuneScape account. I was closing in on enough points for the herb sack when I made another realization. To buy the herb sack, I need 58 herb lore. So, I decided to buy the auto weed perk, meaning I no longer need to rake my farming patches, and called it there. We made some really great progress this episode. Although we lost the thread, and can't yet acquire the herb sack, the seed box is still a major upgrade. Achieving 76 farming also means that with a +3 boost from a garden pie, I can farm all herb seeds in the game, excluding toadstools. That all being said, I think the biggest thing this episode was increasing my confidence in PVM. The Tombs for Mascot was really my first foray into higher level PVM in RuneScape, and as a first experience, it was amazing. Even with the sadness of losing the thread, I'm nothing but excited to see what else this game has to offer. In the next episode, we begin our journey towards God Wars by starting the Slayer grind. Our main goal this episode is to start working towards 85 Slayer. This is a big grind and, to be honest, will likely take more than one episode. We're setting our goal at 85 Slayer as this is the requirement to kill Abyssal Demons and get one of the most iconic melee weapons in the game, the Abyssal Whip. Along the way, we'll also be able to acquire Dragon Boots from Spiritual Mages at 83 Slayer. For my Slayer training, I'm going to be taking a bit of an unusual route, and that's by using Konar. Konar is a Slayer Master that instead of assigning just a number of monsters to kill, will also assign you a place to kill them. The benefit of using Konar is that when you kill the monster in the specific location requested, the Brimstone Key is added to their drop table. The Brimstone Key is used to open the Brimstone Chest, which holds a huge number of useful seeds, resources, and alchables, which normally, as an Ultimate Ironman, I would have trouble acquiring. Opening the chest each time I get a key would take up a lot of inventory spaces, so instead, I'm going to stack up the keys in my inventory and open them all at once I reach 85 Slayer. As you've probably seen in the last few episodes, I have a pretty large stack of these already, and that number's only going to increase as we continue the Slayer grind. For our first task, we've been assigned worms in the Karum Slayer dungeon. What the fuck? What the Oh my god, what the hell? Oh my god, that's like 1 in 2k or some shit. What the fuck? Hello, dragon sword. God damn. Look at this thing. So I thought this thing was like completely useless, but it turns out it's actually my best stab weapon at the moment. So it's really good for worms and then really good for like dragons and wyverns and stuff. This is sick. Another benefit of this grind is that occasionally Slayer monsters will drop in soul heads. These heads can be brought to the Dark Altar in Arceus where they can be reanimated for prayer experience. Because I can't store or buy large amounts of bones, this is one of the best ways for me to level up my prayer and slowly work towards the goal of 70 prayer for piety. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't want the fucking... Why is this what the game decides that I'm gonna go hilariously lucky on? What? This thing is like 1 in 2k. Wait. Dragon sword. Let's fucking... Yeah, it is 1 in 2k from worms. Bruh. Why? I don't need... I've already got one. Fuck. Alright. That's sick. Thanks for the easiest 40k I've ever made. Something that I've been working towards in the background is 83 Hunter. 83 Hunter means that I'll be able to catch dragon implings and therefore access the Amulet of Glory, my best in slot amulet for a long time. The easiest way to do this is through birdhouse runs. Each hour I can take my way over to Fossil Island, build a few birdhouses, fill them with seeds, and then come back later for hunter experience and bird's nests. Previously, my birdhouse runs have been pretty inefficient. I had to take this really laborious route from Lumbridge, then over to Draenor, and then to the Isle of Souls to cut some trees, and then to Varrock, and then walk all the way to Fossil Island. This was until last episode when I got the seed box and some mahogany seeds. By keeping a large stack of hops seeds inside my seed box, I removed the need to go to Draenor to buy seeds every time I wanted to do a run. And then, by planting 3 mahogany trees on Fossil Island, I no longer needed to trek all the way to the Isle of Souls just to get some mahogany logs. These changes managed to cut the time that it takes me to do a birdhouse run in half, and to be honest, the quicker and easier these are to do, the more inclined I'm going to be to do them efficiently, and the faster I'll get to that goal of 83 Hunter. Right now, I'm sitting at about 61 Hunter, and I'm hoping I can make a really significant dent in 83 by the time I'm done with the Slayer grind. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I do wish to inform you that we are about to hit 70 Slayer. Oh my god, it's such a clean looking level. We're nearly at 72 for skeletal wyverns. I'm actually quite excited for that. I've never killed wyverns before. But no, the only downside to this, and it does sting a little, but this means that we are less than a quarter of the way done with this grind. So, got a fair way ahead of us. Oh no, but we've got a clue scroll to do as well, so let's go see if we can get anything. Come on, please be the casket, please.
Hey. Okay, let's... Come on. Oh, that's shit. Oh, actually, no, the purple sweets are great. Let me hold that thought. I'll get back to this. Although we've started on the Slayer grind already this episode, our gear's looking pretty goofy, to be honest. Although we have the Slayer helm and the Dragon Defender, I'm still rocking a Ring of Wealth, just random boots that I pick up every now and then the Artie cloak for my cape. To speed up the Slayer grind and to keep us on track, by the end of this episode, I want to get 3 big upgrades to our melee gear. The first of these is simple and it's just climbing boots. All you need to do to get them is just complete Death Plateau. I've been kind of putting this off for a long time because in Death Plateau there's this part where you need to give 10 trout and 10 loaves of bread to this guy, and that's just kind of annoying on an Ultimate Ironman. That's as good of an excuse that I've got. I've just been putting this one off. There's really no excuse. The next one I want to get is a bit harder, and that's a fire cape. At this stage in the game, with my Carol's crossbow and top, and then sort of chucking together some boots and some red d'hide, I think that the fire cape shouldn't be a problem. I've done a fire cape twice before, on one on a main and then one on my previous Ironman, and pretty much as soon as I got the fire cape was when I stopped playing the accounts. But with my gear and the experience that I've got from playing the raids and some other PVM, I really don't think that getting a fire cape will be too big of an issue. And then the final one is one that I've never done before, and that's the Berserker Ring. I've got one of my friends who's ready to take me on a trip to DKs and show me the ropes, and so I'm going to be learning the Rex safe spot and slowly chipping away at some Rex KC until I get that Berserker Ring. So let's get to it. The first of these was obviously just Death Plateau. Smashed this out in about 15 minutes, death piled, got the trout and bread, and finally got some damn climbing boots. I've been putting this quest off for like months. I haven't had a good pair of boots for so fucking long, and now I can finally get climbing boots. Holy shit. These are actually pretty good. They're one of the only early game boots that give you melee strength. So I think that's going to give me a new max hit with my Slayer gear. Alright, so the next thing we're doing is heading into the fight caves for a fire cape. From my experience in the Tombs of Amascut last episode, I think the fight caves are relatively chill in comparison. I'm taking in some pretty good gear as well. I've got a Verax helm, which is a tank helm that gives good prayer bonus, and then I've got my Carol's top and Carol's crossbow, which are really good range offense equipment. Then I grinded to get some Shazian Boots 5, which are the best boots I can get at the moment for range offense. As far as my inventory setup goes, I've just stacked a bunch of prayer pots and then got some pineapple pizzas. Pineapple pizza is the best healing food that I can get at the moment. And then the final slot is those purple sweets from the clue from earlier. The purple sweets heal between 1 and 3 hit points each, but the real bonus is that when you eat them, you get 10% of your run energy restored. So that's just going to help me if there's any sort of emergency spots in the fight caves where I need to run away from a bat or run away from, say, a ranger that I'm tanking. This is just going to give me a bit of peace of mind and knowing that I can sort of make that quick escape if need be. But no, the fight caves were actually pretty chill in the end, and I slowly made my way through and only ran into sort of some minor roadblocks on the way. The first of these was that I was stupid and misread the wear on my Carol's top, and it broke halfway through the attempt. This meant that I had significantly less range defense, and I was taking a lot more damage from the ranger when I was tanking it. Luckily though, I managed to kill the rangers pretty quick, and this didn't turn out to be too big of an issue in the end. The other issue that I faced, which was a bit dumb of me to be honest, was that I only took in about 3,000 bolt racks. So I got about halfway through the waves, and I had already made a pretty significant dent in my bolt racks. I have sort of nightmares about running out of ammo in the fight caves. On my first ever attempt, things were going perfect and I was super nervous, and then I managed to get all the way to Jad perfectly on my first attempt, and I was so excited to get it. And then I'm about halfway through killing Jad and I ran out of ammo. And holy shit, it was so fucking frustrating. And I tried like 5 or 6 times again after that attempt, and I just kept dying on Jad to stupid mistakes, and I was so frustrated that I didn't get it that first attempt. So knowing that, it was fucking stupid that I didn't take that much ammo this time, but luckily 3,000 was enough and I managed to get through just fine. go. Holy shit, I did not expect to get that first shot. Oh my god, fuck. Absolute beast. 200 bolt racks left. Holy shit. Oh my god, let's fucking go. Oh my god, that's stressful. Hell yeah. Alright, so I have a bit of time before I'm heading to DK's tonight, so I'm still just going to be chipping away at some Slayer. I managed to get 76 attack while at Aberrant Spectres, and I thought I'd take this moment to run you guys through something else that I'm doing in the background while I'm doing Slayer. So because of our farming grind last episode, we can just about farm every herb in the game barring 1 or 2. So what that means is whenever I get seed drops from Slayer monsters, and Aberrant Spectres are a good example of that, I can just plant them straight in the ground and then harvest them later. Every single time I get herb seeds from a drop, at the end of that trip, I'll do a farm run and plant them, and then I can harvest all those herbs and stack them up inside my looting bag. So I have a pretty sizable collection of herbs growing at the moment, and in future episodes, my plan is to use these to make potions to get some herb lore experience, and it'll also give me things like prayer pots, super attack and super strength pots, which are going to be really good for bossing and Slayer and stuff moving forward. While I was doing a herb run, I actually got another Dr. Jekyll random event, which meant that we got another stamina pot, and we're now only 2 stamina pots away from finishing the 10 stamina pot goal. We're getting so close. And finally, about half an hour before we were set to go to DK's, I managed to finish a hard clue and got this Guthix plate skirt as a reward. The Guthix skirt has the same stats as rune plate legs, but the difference is that it has +1 prayer bonus as well, which means it's a not negligible upgrade over the rune legs that we would be wearing anyway. But no, now that we're done with this, it's time to head to DK's. I've geared up in a basic mage setup just with Ivan's Blast, and I'm using some sharks I got from that clue scroll as well as some prayer pots that I had in my looting bag. And now I'm heading over to Waterbirth Island to meet up with my friend Wyvern. I'm just going to take a 30-second detour and eat these cabbages to get to full health.
Delicious. Oh, someone put their pet rock on it. Okay, you go down this one and pray melee against those crabs. And I'll meet you at the end. So yeah, I'll attack that for you, and then you attack my one. And then we go down the ladder and pray mage.
I don't know why, I just got a feeling I'm going to get a B-ring. Like really early as well.
They're not too uncommon, 1 in 128. But so is the Ring of Life. Dun, This is like the main reason I don't like doing DKs all too much. I do like DKs, but getting there is such a pain. And if you die, you have to like,
oh my god, yeah, I actually can't imagine if I'm going to be able to get my stuff back if I die.
So come behind the ladder.
The hell is that?
Rock lobsters.
It's so thick.
Forgotten NPCs live down here. Another game.
Oh, I thought that was you. He's got the same whip and everything.
Oh yeah, he does too. Okay, I'm gonna go down and I'll kill Supreme Prime, and then you can come down and get into the wreck safe spot.
Sick.
Okay, you can come down now.
I'm coming.
So you just come down, and then come over this side, and we pray melee past Rex. The other 2 are dead. Oh, the range is about to spawn. As long as you're over here, the other 2 can't attack, won't attack. So you like stand here, and then you just run straight down. To like here. And then he's safe spotted.
Hell yeah. It's a big claw. No way, 14 adamant darts. Congrats.
First KC?
Yeah, I got it.
Through ore.
It is a long respawn time though.
Yeah, it is.
The 1 in 128 seeming a lot bigger all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, Fremenic shield, let's go. Let's see how rare is this thing. 1 in 128, sick.
There it is again, the number.
Oh. Let's go. Fuck. Oh my god, that's so good. Yes. Oh my god. Look at him. Look like a fucking beast. Oh, that's so nice. Oh my god. Oh my god. What kill count is that? 73? Let's go. Oh my god. I wanted the other ring.
Maybe that's what I'll be saying.
Holy shit.
What?
That one hurt.
What?
And I took that one personally.
What?
What the fuck do you mean?
Wow! That is big dog!
Well, that was the last kill of the trip, and I'm sad I didn't get the B ring, but that's fucking cool. What the hell? Oh, I'm gonna have to hold on to this. Ah, fuck. Alright, oh my god, I've never had one of these before. That's so cool.
Let's fucking go!
Oh my fucking god, let's fucking go. Holy shit, I was here for way too long. This place sucks, man. What the hell? Oh my god. Oh fuck yeah. Thank you, Rexy. Oh my god, that's such a big upgrade. Let's fucking go. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, so that was a really successful trip to DK's. It took me, what, 100 and... yeah, I got the ring on 156 KC. Just a bit over drop rate, but not by too much. And super successful trip as far as all of that goes. So not only did I get the B ring, which was the main goal, but I also got the D axe, which I won't hold on to forever, but I will for the moment. I think I'm going to start training some wood cutting in the next few weeks. And then I also got the shield left half, which is just a massive RNG thing to get out of the way. You need it for the hard Arty diaries, which is, there's one of these to smith a dragon square shield. I can hold on to it and it's tradable, so I can put it in my looting bag. So incredibly successful trip. I'm so happy with that. Next, I just got to go to Nightmare Zone now so I can imbue this, but that's a job for another day. After successfully achieving all the gear upgrades we were seeking this episode, I just got back into the Slayer grind. I got 55 prayer from some ensouled heads, and then got 77 farming from a mahogany tree, and did my Tears of Guthics to get 43 rune crafting. I'm still slowly chipping away at birdhouse runs, which got me to 62 hunter, and then I built another clue stash and got a Zami page as a reward from the clue. Thanks to our work in episode 1, I was able to put this straight into the god book so it didn't take up any inventory space. I then cleaned a bunch of fossils that I had from AFKing ammonite crabs, which gave me XP lamps, and in what was a huge rush of dopamine, I put all the lamps on Herblore, which put me up to level 50, inching closer to 55 for super strength pots. Alright, so I'm like halfway through this jellies task. I'm about to get 78 attack, and oh my god, this is exciting. Hell yeah. So that's 78 attack, and that puts me over to 100 combat. Oh my god, I've never... that's such like a big personal achievement for me, because I never thought that I would get this far into account. I never had the time, or I'd get burnt out and stop, or stop enjoying the game and things like that. But no. Oh my god, that's so fucking cool. I love that so much. Fuck. Oh my god. And there. Oh my god, I love it. Oh, that's so sick. Alright, so I'm just chilling here. It's pretty late. I'm doing a Kuras task. And that is 72 Slayer. We now can fight or kill skeletal wyverns, which is good money making, it's good prayer XP, there's the visage on their drop table. It's just a pretty iconic thing, unlocking skeletal wyverns. I've always seen people kill them and not been able to do it myself. I'm pretty excited to try it. So we just got 80 attack. Now that I'm 88 strength, 80 attack, I'm going to switch to training defense, and I'm going to get that to 80 as well before I go back to working on strength. We also just hit a pretty big milestone, which is 70 brimstone keys. We're getting so close to 100. I honestly have no idea how many I'm going to get at 85, but this is a lot. These are like, you get like 100k per key on average for opening the chest, so this is like already 7 mil worth of keys. I'm really hoping that we can get like 100, 200 plus by the time we get to 85. And on that note, I think we're going to end the episode there. We made some really great progress this episode. We're closing in on a huge milestone of 1500 total, and the melee gear upgrades that we achieved are going to make the Slayer grind so much smoother. In the next episode, we continue Slayer and continue to stack up our Brimstone Key collection. There's also a few other things that I'd like to show you, but we can get to that later. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. I really appreciate the support I've been getting on these videos. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.